Women today are juggling a lot, and health often takes a back seat until something feels off. The question is, are we looking at these challenges the right way? Our next session, can holistic approaches solve women's lifestyle challenges? Take a closer look at how a more well-rounded approach might actually make things simpler and more effective. To guide us through this discussion, we have a wonderful group of panelists who will bring valuable insights and lived experience. Let's give a huge round of applause for Dr. Kai Nguyen, mental fitness coach at Invisible Wins, Michelle Valuenza Wolf, founder of Empower Her Purpose, Amy Elohim, owner and founder of Restored Identity, Andrea Nakayama, excited founder, president and principal of Functional Nutrition Alliance and Andrea Nakayama, LLC, and Anila Adinani, founder and president of Habit Aware. Please join me in welcoming all these ladies up here. Let's give them a round of applause.
We are coming. I want to thank the speaker that just spoke right now for helping us get the ick out of us just now.
Yeah,
It was very helpful, and I will have to find you later. We have lots to talk about. We are kind of going to take that tailwind and continue the conversation around holistic health. Just give me a moment to find the notes because I got nervous.
It's okay.
It's all okay.
Good.
100%. I just got a lot of notes.
We're in
from
good
this
hands with
weekend.
you.
Oh, yeah, we are in good hands. Just give me 1 second to find my notes. Got a little,
I love your shirt, by the
Wait,
way.
thank you. I love our colorfulness. We're like a
We're
rainbow
full of color
today.
power here. We're kind of like the chakra wheel.
It is a rainbow today. So, my name is Anila Adnani. I am one of the co-founders of Habit Aware, and today we are here to talk about holistic health. I think our go, go, go culture, coupled with our prioritization of wealth over health, is breaking us, not just individually, but communally. And so today, with these amazing colleagues of mine, we're going to talk about not just can holistic approaches change our life, but how. The answer to can is yes. We just heard it. And we're going to hear it again. We're going to hear how with these amazing stories that we have to share, not just of how we're changing our own lives, but how we're helping other people do that through holistic approaches. And I want to just be mindful of the fact that when we say holistic approaches, what we really mean is a return to Eastern practices, to ancient practices, to stuff that we've pushed down by the machine of money. And so let's get started. I would like all of us, there's not just 2 of us, but my brain's saying the word 2, all of us to
Last night.
did have a margarita, and it was delicious. Ancient practices. I would like all of us to just go down the line, share a little bit of high level of who you are, what you do, but really focus on what does holistic mean to you. So I'll start with you, Dr. Kai, and then I'll circle back.
Sounds great. Thank you,
Thank you.
Anila. Can I have a show of hands? How many of you in the room are just raised to just keep going no matter the cost? What about don't complain? Be grateful that you have a job. Be grateful that you're still alive. I'm glad that I'm not the only one. Thank you for your participation. See, that was me. During COVID time, my sister and I were taking turns caring for our mom while taking full responsibilities at work. And being a woman and a nurturer, what do? When my colleague just quit, I decided to also volunteer, raise my hand, because I thought that will be the fastest path to promotion. I'm trying to hold it all together while falling apart inside quietly. How many of you can relate? That's when I realized that holistic lifestyle, it's not a routine, it's not a checklist, it's not a massive overhaul. Holistic lifestyle is the foundation to your nervous system, and most importantly, your thought patterns that influence your identity, your sense of worth, your relationship with other people, and most importantly, your relationship with yourself, with myself, with ourselves. Because we all know we cannot keep pouring from a depleted self. So holistic living, to me, it's not just what we do, it's what's driving what we do.
Love that.
I'll pop on it to you.
Yeah. I'm Amy. I'm from Restored Identity. We're just a very back to the basics, biblical-based herbal supplement company. I saw a hole in the market 4 years ago where people just, they want to sell you a product, but they don't want to tell you how to use it or what other supplements you might need to go with it to fully achieve the detoxed body that you're trying to get. So I also realized that companies were out here, even though they're calling themselves functional or holistic, they're charging $1,000 just to tell you, hey, eat some fruits and vegetables, get some herbs, make sure your digestive system's working. So I was like, hey, let's not do that for people. Let's just create a safe space that's free. And the only thing that costs you is the supplements that you have to buy. Because I just feel like in the previous panel too, talking about community, like we all have to come together in this, and we can't keep ripping each other off. If you're in health to get rich, please leave because we don't need you. Like people, we could all rise up. This all could change. People can't reach their true calling or their true identity if they're sick, and we're keeping them sick. So let's just, call everybody up so that we can all achieve what we were called to do. So anyway, we're all about basic, simple living.
You don't seem very basic,
No.
especially in today's terminology for basic. My name is Michelle Valenzuela Wolf. I'm a top 1% transformational coach. I run a platform called Empower Purpose. I'm all about the integration of business and wellness, and that we need both to be whole. And how did that happen? Well, I spent years in the corporate world running myself to the ground and was all about overachieving. And now don't get me wrong, I'm still all about overachieving, but I'm about whole life wellness, mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual wellness, however you are deciding to define that. So I also have a podcast where I interview female entrepreneurs, not just females, males as well, on how they take, make, create, and evaluate opportunities. I see life as one big opportunity. It's not an obstacle. It's an opportunity for us to learn, to go deeper into ourselves. And when we're talking about health and whole health, it's having a calm nervous system and homeostasis for ourselves. So that's where it starts. The foundation that we're talking about is an I am. It's not a what I do, it's who I am. And that's where we need to start. Your own mic.
It's not working.
Not loud enough? Oh, I'm
Better.
used to projecting. So I've trained many practitioners in my modalities in integrative and functional medicine. So I'm usually asked, what does integrative medicine mean? What does functional medicine mean? What does lifestyle medicine mean? And while all of those are ways that we approach health, holistic is the umbrella that contains those different ways of thinking that were born in the 1990s, but also all the different modalities that we're talking about today and throughout this week together. There's so many different modalities that we can consider holistic, and including ancient modalities. But one of the things that I think of when I think of holistically, or what is holistic, is not just what do we do, but who is this that we're talking to, and why are these symptoms happening? And that's where we really take a holistic approach to the care that we're giving. And that takes time and trust and the cultural competence that we talked about yesterday. It takes that awareness and that radical listening to understand holistic is encompassing everything that this particular individual needs in this moment. It's not overwhelming. It's not giving women one more thing to do on top of everything else that they're holding. So for me, holistic is, yes, the what and the how, but it's the who and the why of how we deliver care.
Absolutely, that's so beautifully said. I love the piece of how you bring in that idea of awareness. That's the work that we do at Habit Aware, is we help people build awareness of subconscious mental health conditions, things like compulsive hair pulling, skin picking, and nail biting. We do that with technology. So we've invented a smart bracelet that uses gesture detection to tell people what their hands are doing. You're pulling right now, you're picking right now. And that technology is the door to the holistic approaches. That awareness is key. And so to me, holistic means, in psychology and for the treatment of these conditions, there's cognitive behavioral therapy. And that is the cognitive triangle is your thoughts, impact your feelings, impact your actions, and it's a triangle. Our medical community has said it's a triangle. In holistic approach, it's a line. Your thoughts need to be in alignment with how you're feeling, and then your actions will follow. If your thoughts are over here, but you're feeling doubt and fear, I'll take for example, in 2022, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. In taking control of hair pulling, which is how we got started with the company, I learned that my thoughts and my feelings and my actions have to be aligned. So I thought, I'm going to get better. I felt faith and trust in my doctors, in my Father watching above, in myself taking the right action, and I took the right action. And in doing so, it was out quick, done. Didn't need chemo, didn't need radiation, because I felt that alignment, that holistic approach of my attitude, not here, but here. Well, I think that's the other part, is that in our culture today, this is in charge. This needs to be in charge. How we feel. We have to start acting from how we feel, not from what we're thinking, because our thoughts are not facts. And we make a lot of mistakes when we act on our thoughts. And so that would be my definition of holistic approach. Now, we're all taking this idea of holistic approaches, we're taking different angles, different strategies, different modalities, and we're implementing them. So will you please tell us what's the invisible, the problem you're solving, the who you're solving it for, and how you're doing that through holistic approaches? How are you making all of that visible? Dr. Kai? Or do we want to go this way this time? Why don't we? Sure. Let's do it.
Yeah. For me, the invisible that I'm looking to make visible is that biography and biology are interconnected. They're symbiotic. We have to be talking about them in the same breath. And that biography exists within a social context as well. And if we're not aware of how much we are being fed, how much noise there is, not only from medicine and what we're supposed to do and the pedantic messaging that we might get from our medical providers, but also the wellness industry has continues to sell us more and more and more. In my over 20 years of practice, I'm now seeing the menopause industrial complex, the longevity industrial complex. We're constantly being sold on our fears of what we're sometimes don't even know we should be afraid of or supposed to be afraid of. So for me, it's really the invisible line and bringing to awareness, like you were talking about, Anila, that biography and biology are connected and they exist within a social, ancestral, sociological context.
Thank you. That's great. Did you want to add anything?
Go.
Okay. So as I said earlier, I like to look at things from an opportunity standpoint. So I think we have a huge opportunity. Yes, we're being oversold in many different categories within, I'm going to call it wellness because I feel more comfortable than saying healthcare. Okay. We have an opportunity for heart-mind connection. So when Anila was talking about, oh, we're operating from our head, right? Talk therapy is head often. It's not embodied. It's also not somatic. We store 70% of our toxins in our gut. The only way to release those toxins is either through your breath or through elimination. When we talk about heart-mind connection, the best way to do that is bring awareness to your breath. I'm not just talking about meditation. Meditation is an advanced practice. Not everybody is able to drop in at any given time. I'm talking about diaphragmatic breath work, which actually allows you to release your toxins through your breath. And how does that get done? From our belly, our diaphragm, right, up to our heart and out the mouth. A 3-part breath out the mouth. It is the most powerful tool that I can tell you. I have been in the wellness space for 25 years. It is the one tool that I have found that is immediate and undeniable, not just at releasing stress, but curing. I have people who reduce their lesions from cancer by 50% in one 20-minute session. And I'm not suggesting that you breathe every single day for 25 minutes, but it starts with small, simple rituals and habits. 1 minute a day, 30 seconds, bringing that awareness. So one other things I want to just share is awareness is the #1 key to success. Does anyone here in this room know how many people are self-aware?
Not many.
Let me share with you, it's a staggering 2% of people. We have an opportunity in this room, truly. If we even brought this collective consciousness forward, we have an opportunity to not only just be successful in our jobs, but in our lives, right? And for other people. And one more thing I just want to share. So when we talk about problems or struggles or obstacles, where it starts when we're talking about awareness and we're talking about heart-mind connection is with love and being kind to individuals, stopping, acknowledging them on the street, in this room. I will tell you, I've been really surprised at how few people have approached me. I've approached a lot of people to make inroads, to have conversations. But it's an interesting thing. If you choose to connect, choose to be vulnerable and show up, you just might be surprised at what you learn. So what I want to do before I pass it over to you, because every event that I do, I wanted to bring what I do into this room. The #1 way women die right now, just so that you know, if we want to talk about healthcare, is heart disease, okay? Heart disease is the #1 killer. So when we bring it back to breath and nervous system health, the type of breath work I do hits the heart. How many people in this room have had heart aches, heart breaks? Okay, I still have a heartbreak. My sister died of a sudden heart attack last year at the age of 60. Okay, so when I say tune and tap into your breath, take time in every moment to try to connect to people, The reason why is our job in life is to love people. You want to be in healthcare, you want to be in wellness, it starts with you and the love that you share with other people. I'm going to pass these hearts around because these are rose quartz hearts. Every event I do it, I give them away because I want you to have a tool that every day you look back on and say, I can love myself a little deeper and give that love to other people. Okay, so you guys pass it
Thank you
around.
so much. I actually want to put you on the spot real quick.
Okay.
If you would be willing to walk us through one diaphragmatic breath
Oh,
as
yeah.
a tool that we can all take with us as well.
Sure, I'd love that. If I only had, okay. So I was going to do it, but then I was like, oh my God, I'm going on a tangent. I'm going to take too long. Okay, so it's a 3-part, I'm pretty loud. So it's a 3-part breath out the mouth. So if you can take 2 fingers and open your mouth like this. Okay? Now, I'm going to break it into 3. Okay? Belly, so that's your diaphragm. Every single woman in this room has been taught to suck in their stomach their entire life. This is the one time in your life that I'm going to say, let's push your gut out, okay? So it's belly. Bring it up to the chest. Bring that energy up. Okay, and the third step is out the mouth. So just quickly put one hand on your heart so you can feel your heart. When we talk about somatic work, tune into yourself. Give yourself the permission to tune in. So put your hand over your heart, your hand over your belly, and go. Okay, it's counterintuitive. It's not a normal way you learn to breathe. You might get lightheaded, but I promise you, I do online breathing with people. You are welcome to. I'm going to give them a QR code. It's like, it's a mission of mine to make people understand, like, I'm lightheaded right now, so I just couldn't. It actually releases the hormone of DMT, which is the same hormone you take with ayahuasca. It's all in your body. You store it. We're keeping the score, but release it. That's the way to learn. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a very selfish ask because Michelle's been talking about diaphragmatic breathing for the last 3 days, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
So now
thank you.
I'm a very visual person, so
I
thank you.
appreciate that. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not joking. Like, I give away free sessions like for my first session because I think it's so powerful. I've done so many things. I've never found something like this that just like immediate and undeniable. We're in a microwave society,
Yeah,
but it's in your fucking body.
yeah.
Like, seriously.
Thank you so much.
I don't need it. Oh.
Amy.
You keep trying to.
Amy, you're doing some incredible work helping people in a way that traditional medicine, traditional medical community fields are not able to. Tell us the invisible you're making visible.
Yeah, just making it simple. We've really complicated the process. It blows my mind that there's like trillions of dollars a year spent trying, or billions, sorry, trying to find a cure for cancer. But we have 14 people so far who have reversed stage 4 cancer. Not from me, just from following the simple steps. We have learned that there are 4 reasons that there is disease in the body. The pathways in the body get closed up. There's a severe buildup of heavy metals, parasites, and mold/candida. So if you just reverse those out of the body in the appropriate way, which is what we're known for, we created these custom kits that do that. Everybody who does it, their bodies are restored. So, I mean, it's pretty amazing. We've had people who had diabetes, they no longer have diabetes. People who had bladder cancer no longer have bladder cancer. And they had been in the doctors for years trying to figure it out. So we just have to come back to the basics. It's really that simple. And I know people want a more complicated answer, but there isn't one.
Simple, but it's not easy.
Right, yeah, because there's a dying to yourself. And that's really the biggest holdup in our company, is because people come and they have the revelation, oh my gosh, okay, But then when you have to realize, well, I can't eat this anymore, I can't do that anymore, I got to let my favorite perfume go. Oh, but I love that shampoo. And you know, but it's like, how bad do you want to live? How bad do you want to feel good? Because the moment you do, I came out a year later cleansed, and I was a totally different woman. I didn't have a cane anymore, and I was just like, yeah, I was walking with a cane for years because I had such disease build up in my body. So it's just, let's come back to the basics. Let's stop complicating this because it's really not complicated.
So what I'm hearing from you is simplicity.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Kai.
Yesterday you mentioned about KISS.
Yes, keep it simple, sexy.
Love that. I'm a neuroscientist, right? So I want to just attest to what Michelle was saying about the diaphragmatic breathing. So back in graduate school, there are two pathways, right? Parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. The way how I remember, if you want to sound smart with other colleagues, this is how you remember it. Parasympathetic, peaceful. So that's going through that diaphragmatic pathway, right? And sympathetic, meaning stress. It starts with S, stress. So next time when you're talking to other people, oh yeah, you need to calm down your sympathetic system. Let me show you some diaphragmatic breathing. See? Now you're already smart and you're helping and making an impact for your colleague.
Love it.
Yeah. So going back to our nervous system, I want to share one thing. So 2024 was a turning point for me. After trying all the alternative routes, physical therapy, all the different stuff, I was left with no choice but to have a neck surgery. So now I'm the girl with screws in my neck. I don't have actual nerves anymore, right? And during that time, during the recovery, I have a lot of time to think because I was literally immobilized and talk about thoughts and how it influence your identity erosion. And so for me, that's what I realized, which is my entire lifestyle has become a coping mechanism, not a choice made by me. It has become the new normal of the hustle culture, adapting to it, right? The new coping mechanism. So for me, that's the mental fitness gap, right? The gap that some of us obsess over tracking every step, sleep score, how much deep sleep we have. But then how many of us actually take the time to take care of the organ, the brain that is making all the decisions? And so here collectively as panelists, when we're talking about the brain, mind, body connections, they all come together, right? We can't just feel it and left out, not rewiring our brain, because we can have the most best advanced wellness strategy, nutritionist plan, but if we don't actually train our mind and up for it, we will self-sabotage it every time. For Amy, you were sharing story yesterday about this one woman who was experiencing back pain for ages. But going back to women being nurturer, right? What do? We ignore our pain. We just like, it's okay because we have other people that we need to take care of, and we ignore our own pain. So for me, the invisible struggles we all face is ignoring those signals that our brain and body is telling us. So that's why I founded Invisible Wins, because the fact that you are here, do you know what that means? That means you have survived 100% of all the freaking hardest days. You are here and you have survived all of those. And you know what? Nobody is giving you trophy. Nobody is clapping for, yeah, you wake up 5 a.m. this morning. You have to show up for 8 a.m. meeting and spending all those time in traffic. And then people forget the fact that that also influences how you spend time with the people in your life. So at the end of the day, it all become a mishmash, right? And so that is so important for us to start acknowledging, listening to the signal that we're getting and talk about it all starts with awareness, right? Because we will always feel powerless if we let our mind wander aimlessly.
Thank you so much. I love that idea of the body as a signal. That's actually exactly what we try to impart with people with hair pulling, skin picking, and nail biting. And so for us, the invisible we're trying to make visible are these conditions. I hid my hair pulling for 20 plus years because I thought I was alone. I thought I was weird. I thought I was wrong. I thought I was ugly. I thought I'd never find love. Who am I going to share that with?
The
Right?
shame and the stigma that
Shame
comes
and the
with
stigma,
it. Yeah?
100%, right? And then that shame and stigma and all those thoughts fed my own self-identity, right?
Yeah.
And that energy is out in the world, and that's then how people treat me, right? And so I had to get over a lot of inner disconnection in order to be able to get to this point of making this condition visible. 1 in 20 people suffer from this condition, but I call it the most common disorder you've never heard of because no one wants to say, I pull out my hair. I pick at my skin. You can even see last night, picked a little. I bite my nails. I pick my nose till it bleeds. But at the core of this physical behavior is your body acting as a signal. It is a self-soothing mechanism. The body wants to get back in alignment. When we engage in these behaviors, it just means we've gone off balance and we've ignored the signal. So our brain is saying, fuck you, I'm going to do it for you. And I'm going to do it in a way that's going to make your life worse, make you feel even more down, just to get back to baseline for that one hit of getting back to baseline, right? And so that's the work that we do is we try to teach people this awareness through technology that vibration is helping building awareness. I just wear the bracelet now for show. I don't need it. I know exactly when my hands are going to come back up are here. I may pull two hairs now and I look at them and I say, oh, my hands are not where I want them to be. What do I need right now? Oh, Anila, it's 4 in the morning and you're still awake and you're working, like you're stressed, you're tired, like go to sleep. Like now I can't stay awake till 2, 3 in the morning like I used to. And it's not because I'm getting older, it's because I've trained my body that 11 o'clock is bedtime. And so for me, that's the invisible. I want people to know the acronym BFRB, Body Focused Repetitive Behavior. That is the umbrella term for these conditions, BFRB. So you know what OCD stands for, you know what GAD stands for, you know what COPD stands for. I want you to know what BFRB stands for. And if it's not you as 1 in 20, it's someone you love. And love is the answer.
Yep.
So we talked about what the invisible is that we're trying to make visible. Now let's dive into how. I mean, and we did a little bit of that already, but I know there's more in you all. All right. So how are you making yourself and that community that you're serving, how are you helping integrate holistic approaches to not only make that invisible visible, but make that invisible minuscule? Yeah, please.
So I'm a functional medicine nutritionist, and I think through a lens of systems biology, right? So the gut's connected to the brain, the gut's connected to the liver, which is connected to the hormones. Everything in the body is connected. And a piece of that equation is also looking at the therapeutic partnership. I really appreciated the cultural competency panel yesterday, and I think that therapeutic partnership is a key to how we actually reach these solutions. We have to recognize that if we are providers, we have our expertise, but there's another expert in the room at all times. And that expert is the client or the patient, and they're an expert in themselves. So we've all told a little bit of our stories. My story getting into healthcare was back in April of 2000 when my husband was diagnosed with a glioblastoma multiforme, so a very aggressive stage 4 brain tumor. At the time, I was 7 weeks pregnant with our first and only child. He was given 6 months to live. You can do the math. 6 months to live. I'm 7 weeks pregnant. He was not expected to see our son born. He actually died 2.5 years later. So he died when our son was 19 months old. That son's now 25 and lives in Tokyo. So that's a long time ago, but that's really what led to my work in understanding what I'm going to call the yes and. Because, yes, Isamu, my late husband, needed conventional medicine. He needed everything he went through because of the aggressive nature of what he was experiencing, and it was a medical situation. So I want to say yes, there's a place for what we think of as medicine, and there's an opportunity for us to see that client or patient more holistically in what they're going through. What I always like to say to my students who are clinicians is that there's a big gap between our medical visits. And there's a lot of care that happens during that gap, right? There's the care of your sleep and your breathing and what you eat and how you live and your relationships. And all of those things are part of how we think holistically. So when it comes to holistic care, the how for me is that we separate the problem from the solution. And a lot of times we're solutioning through our biases, our modalities, what we believe is the fix for that situation. And if we take the time, like an engineer, to separate the problem from the solution and sit in the reality of that individual, we will be able to see more clearly what's true and appropriate for that individual. So my answer to the how is less what we take or what we do or how we do it, and it's really taking that time to sit in that synaptic place where we can see more clearly who we're helping.
Beautiful. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I can't agree with you more. I believe that we have a challenge in our fragmentation. So, as women, men, and our medical system in general, everything we do is in silos. And our goal is to stop siloing, right? And actually streamline if you're running any business, right? And I believe that without fragmentation, you have freedom. So it's not any one thing. So the beautiful part about our panel is we represent many different areas, right? However, I would think every single one of us will say, we don't only do one thing. And yes, then you have to say, okay, well, then it comes into, okay, how are we going to get it all done, right? So if I have a challenge in my health or someone in my family has a challenge in their health, I approach it also from many different areas, truly mental, physical, spiritual, emotional wellness. I may actually start in the why. I don't do the action until I'm clear on the direction that I feel is best in that moment for the situation, because we're individuals. We can't actually say, oh, well, nutrition is the answer. Yes, we know the key is to eat whole foods, right? But we have a society based on processed foods, right? So it's about returning to the basics, but also on a step-by-step basis, determining where do you want to put your energy. So we only have so much energy in a day. When I work with certain clients that have, autoimmune diseases, they're like, how many doctor's appointments can I go to in a day and still be successful at my job? So I think we have to be realistic too. And it's trying. You have to be open to trying different things. And we've talked a lot in the founders area about, how do you become successful, right? Well, it's being open, it's believing, right? So she didn't cure herself of, breast cancer or your clients through taking your supplements. It has to come from your desire and your passion to commit, right? There's 3 C's in any relationship in addition to yourself, right? That's commitment, communication, like the signal, right? Collaboration, and compromise. That's 4. But the 4th one of compromise is super important with your health. You don't always have the means to do everything you want, right? But you have to make the decision to commit to yourself. After the 45 minutes are up, not to hand it
I'm going to add on to your C's and say community. You didn't say that one.
Sure.
Yeah,
Love community.
because that's how I'm really just about community and education. I started out on TikTok just teaching people how to make the medicine for free and then also sold it to them. So I think transparency too, So yeah, really just education, teaching people for free, not charging an arm and a leg to just give them the basics. And not being a gatekeeper, or not just thinking you have it all. I don't think I have it all. I know I have a piece to the puzzle, but what you hold is very special. What you hold and what you do, we all have to collectively come together as a community.
I love that. And for me, last month is March, right? I call it March of Death. You know why I call that? Because that's where all your New Year resolution go to die. Every New Year, we all are so committed to do one thing, and then everything fall through. And so from the behavior perspective, right, one of the major reasons is we make these big grandeur goals. And then when it comes to committing, the gap is too high, the cost is too much that our brain just I'm not doing that. We all know we need to eat healthy. We all know we need to sleep early. We all know we don't look at our phone before going to bed. But the compromise is too high. So the way to make your holistic sustainable is to make those little tiny change. For any behavior that you're committing to stick, start out with any actions that you want to take less than 30 seconds and stack onto your existing habit. Then it's going to last longer because it doesn't take too much of an effort, right? It's like going to a date. Hey, on your first date, will you marry me? I'm going to be freaked out. Hey, will you go for coffee? Okay, depending on how you look, I'll think about it, right? But it goes the same way when it comes to habitual changes. And it goes a long way for creating that sustainable, not only your performance, but your well-being, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, all in alignment.
Beautiful. So
Habit stacking is the best.
Habit stacking, yes. So I'm hearing, as it relates to illness, the way to holistic health is the yes and. The accept that our medical system does have its benefits, but also making sure that we're looking at that whole body care and making sure that the team around that person is kind of getting to all these little different buckets, right? Then from Michelle, I'm hearing deep breathing, of course, diaphragmatic breathing to be specific, but also this idea of compromise, of we live in a society that's not built for the way that we all want to live right now, right? So we actually have a lot of positive regression to do, right? Because at one point, society was the way we want it to be now.
In the 90s.
And even 80s. I would even say in the thousands. Yeah. And so how do we get back? How do we learn? And if you think about it, you look at 1950s, the milkman used to come to us. And now Amazon delivery comes to us, right? So it's like we are kind of going back a little bit, but we're doing a modern spin to it. And so I think that's the next step, is how do we take what has been working? Like for me, I have girlfriends who are very into nutrition and they go to the co-op and I'm just like, it's so far though, right? It's so easy to do my groceries from here and go pick it up from Whole Foods. Yeah. And so how do we make that easy again, is what I'm hearing when we say when we look at compromise and we say, let's stop compromising. Let's try to figure this out a little bit. And then from Amy, I'm hearing it's about the internal It's about cleansing the internal. We talk a lot about in our work, what are you feeding your body, but also what are you feeding your mind? Because that's impacting your actions. But if your body's not clean, your mind is not, right? Like we made the joke about drinking last night, right? If I had had too many drinks, I'd be even worse on stage right now than I am, right? And so we have to really take care of that inner cleansing as well. And then from Dr. Kai, what I'm hearing is holistic change is hard. And what we need to do is look at what's that one little thing we can start with and add on and habit stack. And, there's a tons of information online about how to do that.
Add on.
Absolutely.
And it does take time. Like I have customers or clients who are like, I can't poop. I'm like, okay. When I started my whole journey, it took I know it's a little personal, but it's what it is. Every day for 2 years, I would wake up, whether I would go or not, put my foot on a stool and try to go. It took 2 years to learn to train my bowels after 34 years of them not working. Same thing with people who want to cleanse their body. Like I always ask, do you drink water? Don't even worry about cleansing your body. If you just consume soda and Red Bull, how about you focus the next 6 months on just drinking water? So it's baby steps.
Baby steps. And again, let's go back to Eastern practice. You go to the airport in India and the pot's on the floor. You have to squat. That's the point.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to get in that accurate position. Yeah, we were designed that way. Yep. Yep. So I think we might be running, we have a few more minutes. So just very quickly, I want to just share how we're helping people with BFRBs. Our methodology is called Love, Strength, and Awareness. And the reason I'm sharing it with you is because you can take this with you too, just like you can take diaphragmatic breathing and you can take supplements, etc. It's just backwards. It's the awareness to summon the strength to choose love. So that example of breast cancer, I was aware enough to say, this breast cancer is a signal. This breast cancer is not a boulder in my life. This breast cancer is a stepping stone. And I invited it in for tea. And I'm writing my memoir right now. And my editor was like, really? You invited it in for tea? And I was like, yes. I said, what do you need from me? Why are you here? Where am I out of alignment? And I sat with it and I realized at that moment I had an 8-year-old and a 5-year-old. I was running a mental health tech company. I was on the board of 4 nonprofits. I was teaching entrepreneurship at Minneapolis College of Art and Design. And my body was telling me, slow the fuck down. Yeah. And that is the takeaway from this in terms of women and challenges. We put, like you were saying, we put so much pressure on ourselves. Yeah. And it's not because of us. Society trains us to do this from babyhood, right? My older sister took care of me. If I had an older brother, there's no way he would have been wiping my, changing my diapers, right? So we train our girls so early to take on. And now the ask of all of you in the room, men and women, is to let go, let go, let go. I think we might be out of time, but one quick takeaway or one word if you want to leave, whatever, yeah.
Resilience, period.
Integration is inspiration. That's my phrase for you. And the second thing is breathe to receive, literally.
Keep it simple, sexy.
Yeah,
Keep it simple.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah, remember that. I know.
Don't forget to train your brain like you train your body.
That's beautiful, yeah. And I'll leave you with love, strength, and awareness.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Don't forget to take your hearts. I'm not joking.